Hey everybody, I'm finally chilling. I'm back out on the water. I'm not in a house. Um, I paddled for a few hours today. I just took it easy. I wasn't interested in paddling heavy conditions again. You can't blame me for that after yesterday. Yesterday was a really intense day, and I ended up meeting one of the most lovely families in the world. They saw me on this little island kind of across the channel from their house. It was just a tiny little thing, but there was some shelter there. And I had been out there probably half an hour, 45 minutes in the hail, in the wind, in the rain, and at least I was on shore. I was really, really worried about being in the water. There was so much lightning that it was very, very scary. And that's the straight up truth. It was just scary, man. Lightning's not like wind. You know what I mean? It's a totally different element. So when you start getting into lightning issues, you really have big issues because you can't even paddle in the water. If it strikes the water, you could be in trouble. Um, Water travels, and we're soaking wet the whole time. It's just a really bad combination. So yeah, it was a very, very scary day. The microbursts and the rotation in the clouds and the hail was intense. Like being outside for a hailstorm, that hurts. I didn't get to the same extent as a lot of the other areas around here, but when it started hailing, it was like, okay, this is not good. Because typically hail is a sign that there's a tornado or a rotation or something more catastrophic kind of heading your way. So that was a bit scary. I'm feeling great today. I'm not unhealthy or any of that. Mentally, emotionally, feeling pretty good. I'm still having trouble with my skin, my hands, and all the marks and wounds on my hands and stuff like that from the sun and the fresh water. But otherwise, I feel like $1,000,000. I have no, issues. Wanted to talk about yesterday a little bit about how not to find your way into those situations. That whole thing yesterday was avoidable, and 100% of the blame lies with me. I don't think that's what a lot of people want to hear, but that's how it goes. If you have an incident in the water like I did yesterday, that's your fault. That's it. And you have to then sit down and debrief either with your friends or with yourself and really lose the ego and look at every decision that led to that situation. And most oftentimes when you run into a situation like that, you can typically find, one, two, or three really bad mistakes before it even starts. And if I had to guess my mistakes yesterday, I'm pretty sure I've got them all figured out. And ultimately, I decided to leave shore yesterday thinking that I had a weather window that just wasn't available. Having bad information from weather radar or windy apps or other paddling apps, you can rely on those things if you want, all you want. And I get it. I definitely put a lot of energy into owning those applications and owning that data too, and doing a lot of the same things you guys do. But you need to also know meteorology. You need to be able to look into the sky and tell yourself what the clouds are doing and understand all those things. And I didn't do that yesterday. That's the straight up truth. I looked in the sky, I saw what was happening, and I still did what I did. And that's a huge no-no. I think I was a little antsy from having sat there for 24 hours. I rested at that place. I didn't have to leave there yesterday. I did because I wanted to make distance. And so that was another big no-no. That's something I don't normally do. If I see the guys doing what they were doing yesterday, I don't paddle. It's just that simple. I don't need to. There's no rush to do that. I'm not out here trying to set records. I couldn't care less about a speed record or anything like that. I love paddling from a place to another place over big distances and big time, and a lot of the story has nothing to do with the actual paddling. But like yesterday, I was in a really bad situation, and a local Canadian family helped me out of a jam, and it was a real jam. They didn't have to do that. They could have just sat there and let me be entertainment. but they didn't. They put their best foot forward for me and took care of me like I was one of their own. And I think that's probably, you know, one of the greatest honors of doing trips of this magnitude, is eventually you're going to get in trouble and you're going to need help. And you know, I think that's also a big part of the reason why often when I get opportunities in paddling, I'm very quick to give those opportunities to other people too. If something good happens for me, it makes something good happen for somebody else. And I think that's the karma that comes back to you when you come out here and you do trips like this. You know, just knowing that some random stranger was kind enough to have my back, and he literally gave me a place to stay last night, like a cottage with a bathroom and sink and water, and like was able to charge all my gear. Like it was, I left his place complete and whole. And that's something that, you know, you can't take advantage of, and you definitely need to respect those moments and talk about those moments. I had a wonderful day yesterday. I'm alive, and I'm grateful to be alive after that situation. And I still have a really, really big trip to continue to paddle now, right? Hopefully we got the worst of it out of the way. On my Lake Superior trip, I faced insurmountable odds in a specific type of wave that I found my way into, and that was really, really bad. And this was my really bad moment for this trip. It just happened really early into the trip, and hopefully traveling in the direction that we're traveling on this trip, it's gonna be, you know, there's the potential is very high for those situations on this trip. It's just the nature of the region of the country we're in, province we're in too, and Georgian Bay is notorious for storms. And as I go south towards where I'm from, the weather over August and September changes drastically, and then by October we're into fall. So really hoping that I get some good weather days, really hoping I can put in, you know, a few hundred more kilometers as quickly as possible over the next, you know, week or 2 weeks, because if I can do that, then I'm still in really good shape. I'm gonna start paying a little bit more attention to not traveling during, you know, conditions. It's unnecessary. You can travel 10, I'm just using this as an example. If you want to spend 100% of your energy to only travel 10 kilometers, you can go ahead and do that, but you're burnt. Why not just wait it out and do, you know, 2 50-kilometer days instead in the future? You can always make that time back up. You can't get it back. So you're better off staying on shore, hanging out, maybe burning a day or two, and then just paddling really, really hard on the beautiful days that you actually get, you know, perfect winds and following waves and all that sort of stuff, where you can cruise at 8 kilometers an hour or faster even. Those are the days you kind of live for out here. Anyway, I won't keep you guys too long. It's about a 10-minute video. Just an update. I believe it's day 18. I don't even know anymore. I'm relying on my parents to tell me what day it is at this point. I know that sounds funny, but I don't really care. I'm out here, and I can't do anything about, like, time, and time means nothing out here, right? You're not worried about this moment or that moment. You're just worried about getting through it all and making your way. But I ended up in a really beautiful spot. I'm hanging out at Franklin Islands, which is just you know, I didn't paddle far today. I paddled a good distance. I'm not too far from Snug Harbor. It's just a few kilometers down the way. I'm right on the end of Franklin Island, but I'm on a beautiful sand beach. Got my sailboat friends again, and so yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. I love you all. Happy paddling, and stay safe out there. Stay sharp. Yesterday could have ended up a lot worse, but I'm really, really, really fortunate. My skills were on point. I was fine. And then the grace of some kind people. And that was a really wonderful experience. So, you know, you go from life-threatening to life secured in seconds out here sometimes, and I think that's probably a big part of the reason why I love doing what I do so much, is just you never know what's going to happen, and every day is different. Anyway, I love y'all. Happy paddling.